Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching twist when something just feels off? That's where our story begins today. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. A quiet, unsettling feeling that something in a seemingly perfect life was fundamentally broken. Let me introduce you to Mark. If you looked up dependable in the dictionary, you'd probably find his picture. A loving husband, a dedicated professional, the kind of guy who remembers anniversaries and fixes leaky faucets without being asked. His life with his wife, Sarah, was, by all accounts, a picture of domestic bliss. They had a beautiful home, shared hobbies, and a history that stretched back over a decade. From the outside, they were the couple everyone wanted to be. But perfection is often just a carefully constructed illusion. The first crack appeared subtly. It wasn't a shouting match or a dramatic confrontation. It was a change in routine. Sarah, who always used to be home by 6, started having late nights at the office. Then came the work dinners on weekends, followed by a newfound obsession with her phone, which was suddenly guarded like a state secret. Mark wasn't the jealous type. He trusted Sarah, but the small inconsistencies began to pile up, creating a weight in his chest that he couldn't ignore. A late-night text that made her jump. A vague answer about who she was with. The scent of a cologne that wasn't his. Each one was a tiny paper cut to his trust. And soon, he was bleeding doubt. He decided he couldn't live in this fog of uncertainty any longer. One evening, driven by a desperate need for the truth, he did something he never thought he would. He checked their shared phone records. His heart hammered against his ribs as he scanned the list. And there it was. A single number called and texted dozens of times a day, at all hours. A number he didn't recognize. With a heavy heart, he did a quick search. The number belonged to a man named Alex, a colleague from Sarah's new project. A quick look at Alex's social media profile painted a painful picture. Photos of work events where Sarah had claimed to be with other people. Tagged posts from nights she was supposedly working late. The puzzle pieces clicked into place, forming a picture of betrayal that stole the air from his lungs. In that moment, a storm of emotions raged inside Mark. Anger, hurt, confusion. He could have screamed, thrown things, confronted her right then and there. But as the initial shock subsided, something else took over. An eerie, chilling calm. He realized that a loud, messy confrontation was exactly what she might expect. It would give her the chance to cry, to make excuses, to twist the narrative. No, he wouldn't give her that satisfaction. He closed the laptop, took a deep breath, and let the cold wave of clarity wash over him. His pain wasn't going to be a spectacle. It was going to be a catalyst. His revenge wouldn't be loud and fiery. It would be quiet, calculated, and colder than the lies she had been feeding him. The game had changed, and Mark was about to write his own set of rules. Over the next few weeks, Mark became the epitome of the perfect husband. He brought Sarah flowers, cooked her favorite meals, and listened attentively as she spun tales of her stressful days at work. He'd nod and smile, his eyes betraying nothing of the storm raging within. Each lie she told was another piece of evidence he filed away, another brick in the wall he was building around his heart. While playing the role of a lifetime, Mark was meticulously planning his next steps. He wasn't just leaving. He was systematically disentangling their lives with the precision of a surgeon. He met with a lawyer, quietly understanding his rights and options. He documented everything: the phone records, the social media posts, the credit card statements showing hotel rooms and expensive dinners for two. His evidence file grew thicker by the day. He started separating their finances, moving his own savings into a new personal account. He carefully appraised their shared assets, from the house to the art on the walls. He was preparing for the end, but on his own terms. Sarah, completely oblivious, reveled in his renewed attention. She probably thought her little act was working, that her loving, trusting husband suspected nothing. She couldn't have been more wrong. The D-Day he chose wasn't random. It was their anniversary. The irony was a bitter pill, but a necessary one for the story he was writing. He booked a table at the same fancy restaurant where he had proposed all those years ago. He told Sarah to dress up, promising a night to remember. And oh, it would be. As they sat across from each other, surrounded by candlelight and the soft murmur of other couples, Sarah was glowing. She raised her champagne glass. "To us," she said, her smile as bright as it was fake. To another wonderful year. Mark met her gaze, his own expression unreadable. He raised his glass. To the truth, he replied, his voice even and calm. He took a sip, then placed his glass down with a soft click. And to new beginnings. He reached into his jacket pocket, but instead of a velvet jewelry box, he pulled out a thick manila envelope and slid it across the table. Sarah's smile faltered. "What's this?" she asked, her voice laced with confusion. "That," Mark said, his voice still unnervingly calm, "is a detailed record of your affair with Alex for the past 6 months. Phone records, hotel receipts, even some screenshots of your rather descriptive texts. I believe my lawyer will find it very useful." The color drained from her face. She fumbled to open the envelope, her hands shaking as she saw the undeniable proof of her betrayal laid out in black and white. She looked up at him, her eyes wide with panic and disbelief. "Mark, I can explain." "No, you can't," he interrupted, his voice cutting through the air like ice. "You've had 6 months to tell the truth, and you chose to lie to my face every single day. While I was making you dinner, you were texting him. While I was trusting you, you were deceiving me." He then pulled out a second envelope. "These are divorce papers. I've already signed them. Our joint accounts have been frozen, and my lawyer has filed a petition based on the evidence you're holding. I've also packed a few bags for you. They're by the front door. The locks will be changed tomorrow morning." Tears started streaming down her face. "Mark, please, don't do this. I love you." Mark stood up, adjusting his tie. He looked down at the woman he once loved, now a stranger weeping over the wreckage she had created. He felt a pang, not of love, but of pity. "Love? You don't know the meaning of the word. You didn't just lie to me, Sarah. You broke something that can never be fixed. I hope it was worth it." He placed enough cash on the table to cover the bill and a generous tip. Without another word, without a backward glance, he turned and walked out of the restaurant, leaving her alone with the cold, hard truth. As he stepped out into the cool night air, he didn't feel triumphant. He just felt free. The storm inside him had finally passed, leaving a quiet, peaceful calm in its wake. His revenge wasn't about hurting her. It was about reclaiming his life and his peace of mind. And in that quiet, dignified exit, he had won. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today. It's a powerful reminder that some